The Philips PET824 is a 8-inch DVD player created by Philips, and it definitely runs back a few years ago, but still it's fairly relevant and it still looks pretty modern in today's standards of DVD playback. Of course, in this day and age, we're seeing a lot more high resolution. We're getting a lot more video streaming. So with tablet computers like iPads and HP touchpads, we are having 10-inch screens that are similar to the resolution and similar to the screen size of portable DVD players, and we're just watching videos from YouTube and Hulu and all these streaming Netflix services instead of buying typical DVDs. But for those who still do, it's still a very cool idea to take stuff on the road and to play back your movies on the car. But of course, we've got our Blu-ray portable players. But of course, this is a classic Philips. It's called the PET or the PET824. The first thing you'll notice about the device is that it comes in this glossy piano white finish. The white is really beautiful. It draws your attention almost immediately. It's one of the first things you'll notice, and it really is smooth. It doesn't attract too much fingerprints because it's not black, and yet it's still very elegant. You'll find that the hinge is very streamlined as well. It looks kind of like a black piece, and you'll find the device is fairly slim as far as the body goes. And on the front, you'll find a magnetic chisel for containing the IR ports, as well as a one-line speaker that runs the entire length from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. This is one speaker on the bottom. And in addition, you'll find all the ports on the right-hand side that consists of your power or charging cords, all your AV in, AV out, and your 2 headphone ports, which means you can share a music's video and your music sounds with 2 people. So if you're watching this on the car, you can have 2 people listening and watching the movie at the same time without disturbing people with the built-in speaker. Now, perhaps the biggest drawback of this device is also its biggest gain for this DVD player. It becomes a very slim device if it's not for the huge battery pack. So, when you're actually carrying this around, the battery pack is quite stable with the device, but unfortunately it takes up a lot of heft. It's one of the heaviest DVD players we've ever tested, and the entire edge protrudes a lot. It's also a very big battery pack, so when we're placing it somewhere, when we're holding it, it's really heavy, and we don't want to drop it or take it around too many times and fear the battery connection might get loose. It's a very hefty solution, and it's not very well implemented for on-the-go usage. That said, I also said this is the best feature of this particular DVD player, and that's really because the battery pack can last you around 8 hours of DVD playback. That's one of the longest in terms of portable technologies, in terms of watching DVD movies, and that's great if you're on an airplane on your flight, from America to China or to India to somewhere in Asia, if we're going from North America, or if we're going to Europe or somewhere else. It's a world traveling product that if you take on an airplane ride, you'll be satisfied. But because this is the only battery pack you get out of the box, and it's really, really huge, it means that in terms of regular day-to-day, taking it to the park and taking it to the zoo, just taking it around, it's going to be a little hard. Lifting the device up, you just find the typical screen. It's a matte screen, which means it's not going to attract too much fingerprints, nor is it going to glare too much in the sunlight, which is another great feature of this particular product. You'll also find that below the screen, you'll have a streamlined design that consists of basically a four-way navigation and an OK key, as well as a menu and the in and as a monitor key to just use the screen as a computer, kind of like a monitor, which is pretty cool. We have a volume up and down, and we also have a skip, play, pause, and stop button. There's also an open button. And on the DVD screen, it just says Adobe Digital, MP3 player, and DVX formats are supported. Now, almost immediately, you'll notice there are a few drawbacks to this DVD player. One of those, for example, is the fact that on the D-pad, it is missing, it has a skip track, which means when we're watching a DVD, we can skip to the next chapter, but it does not have a fast-forward button. What that means is that you are forced to use the built-in DVD remote control, which is also white, and it's fairly nice to use. The DVD remote control comes with the forward or the forward button that can, you can fast forward instead of just skipping it. Skipping it, you have to skip back and forth, and it's really hard to navigate to precise parts of the movie. That said, the battery control on the remote is fairly long, but the battery in this it's a cell battery, so it does run out after you use it for a year or so, and you're gonna have to replace this small battery. It's not a standard AA battery; it's a small one. So you have to go look online just to purchase the battery, which is a disappointment there. But still, the resolution on the screen is fairly high. It's bright. It's easy to see under direct sunlight. Colors are fairly vibrant. It's not going to be the highest. You're finding yourself limited in terms of it's not going to be HD quality, but it still is a very enjoyable experience. It's larger than the average 7-inch screen that we see in DVD players in the first place. The battery life is a huge selling point, as well as the design in general is very eye-catching, and for a DVD player, it's fairly inexpensive as well. It's classical, and it looks great. Just be note that you have to sacrifice maybe the best portability for the long-lasting battery. Thanks for watching here at OSandVTXreviews.com.